In this video, we're going to learn how to set up layouts and plot these layouts into PDF files. So let's go to layout 1 here by clicking on that tab, and you see how this right here switch from model to paper space, indicating that we're working in the paper space now. And let's right click on the layout 1 tab and go to Page Setup Manager, and then click on Modify. Usually this is set to the plotter that you're working with. Since we're printing PDF, we can just go to DWG to PDF driver. And then let's set the paper size to be 24 by 36. So it's the Arc D option, and we'll choose this one. So it's going to show landscape here. And we're plotting the layout as opposed to the extent or window of the drawing. And usually we don't need to mess around with the plot offset unless you are trying to bind multiple drawings together. You might need to offset the drawings for the edge left for binding. And then we typically use scale 1:1, but we'll set the viewport differently to rescale the drawing. Right here, plot style table typically is given to you by your employers. It allows you to translate the layer color. You see the layers have colors to either colors for 3D rendering or line weights for 2D plotting. So in this case, we're just trying to work with black and white. So either monochrome or grayscale. If we go to grayscale, it's basically just going to turn all these colors black and white. So for example, color 9 and color 2 will turn out to be a lighter gray than color 5 or 7, for example. But for our purposes, we're just going to use the monochrome, which is going to make everything black and white. And we'll talk about the plot styles in relation to the line weights later. So right now, we don't want to check the plot transparency. If we check that, it's going to turn your PDF into a raster PDF. We talked about the difference between raster and vector PDFs before. So basically, it's going to translate the lines with mathematical equations behind them, these smart geometries, into pixels. And the drawing can become blurry if you zoom in. So we want to avoid that. Let's not check the plot transparency. So let's just say OK here and close out of it. And now the viewport right here is very small. And if you're in the paper space, you can actually click on it. So before we enlarge it, let's just insert the title block as an extract first. So let's just type in XR to bring up external references manager, and then we'll go here to attach our title block. So if you click on the 24 by 36 title block and open, and we can just say yes, insert it at 0, 0, 0 and make it 1, 1, 1 for the scales. And then rotation will be 0. Just hit enter here. So now a title block is inserted. So we can basically click on your viewport, type in M to kind of move the viewport. Let's see, away from the title block, and then we can make your viewport bigger. Now double click inside of the viewport and click on this zoom extends button here. It's gonna stretch your drawing out, and this gives us a sense of what scale might be suitable for showing the entire model. But in our particular case, we just want to click on your viewport and set it to be a custom scale, 1 to 100, but it's kind of offset from where the walkscape and the building is. So we'll double click inside of the model space, and then just hold down your mouse wheel and pan so that we can see the walkscape and the building. Okay, and then now double clicking outside of the viewport. Everything looks good. We can basically just plot this into a PDF. So let's just go here and say print. Okay, there's reconcile new layers. Let's just say yes. And then we'll right click here and say reconcile layers. All right, so let's try again. Go to the home button here and go to print. And just say yes, we want to plot a single sheet. So DWG to PDF driver, everything looks fine. Here we'll just say preview. Okay, it looks good, and right click and say plot. Okay, now it's plotting as HW4 underscore existing conditions underscore first name underscore layout. Okay, so let's click save. All right, so now we just created a PDF, as you can see here. So your assignment will be for you to create one plot, one PDF that is 1 to 100 scale, and the other one that's 1 to 20 scale. And that will be it for your homework 4.